Good day, everyone. This is Patrick from EasyFX Code Trading System, and this Saturday, the 20th of February, 2021. And this is the weekly analysis for Euro, Cable, and the Aussie dollar for the fourth and final week of February. And as you can see from each of these charts, the Euro has been contained in the range which we highlighted last week, and while the cable and the Aussie dollar especially has broken out through major resistance levels. So let's take a look at each one here. Let's start off with the Euro. And it has not been able to break above this rising trend line, and as well as this key resistance that we've been highlighting for a while, the 50 Fib retracement on a longer term Fib range, and it has retraced back down to test the 162 Fib level, and then managed to bounce back up, finding support at this level, which we've also highlighted as a key support level. And unfortunately, it did range for the week, and it may continue to do so, settling around the 121 area, and that was where the last week's weekly pivot was. All right, let's move ahead to the cable, where this was a different story for the cable, with a bullish breakout on the Thursday and then continuation on Friday to hit 140, a key resistance level and a psychological level. Prior to that, it did extend higher. This managed to find support from this rising trend line and did extend to hit the 200 Fib extension of this reversal before pulling back, and then on Thursday it shot back up to hit the 162 and higher, right, just to pull back below, back to the 140 range, 140 level. So this is still very bullish mode after finding support from the 136 and bouncing up to break this trend line and continue higher to 140. Right, and so it did not test the trend line at all, and just bounced off the 10 SMA. So this week there could be some pullback, some retracement here, and potentially 139 will be a strong support now. And if it does continue higher and extend, there's also the 262 above, close to the 142, but that's still rather high there. Let's mark this as support now. And this week there is jobs report from the UK on Tuesday. That's the only key news. There's also no major news for the euro. So we'll see if it's able to continue higher and move up to the 141 round figure. This is the last week's weekly R3 level, which was at 141. And we'll see how far it's going to pull back. Last week's weekly R1 was at just above 139. So this is will be a key support. Let's also take a look at the US dollar index and see what happened last week, where started off quite bullish after finding support above the 90 level and kept up on Wednesday to reach this next resistance zone. That's an interim resistance from this swing high previously, and rejected from there and fell back below this trend line and close to the open for the week as well. So it's not able to extend higher, but we'll see whether it's going to continue to consolidate. And this will be a key support zone. It needs to break through this interim resistance so that it can come up to test the swing low, where it has not been able to for quite a while, for months now. All right, so it was only bullish until the release of the FOMC minutes on late on Wednesday, and that's the Wednesday where it peaked, and after that it has pulled back lower. Even though it was supported with strong retail sales on a Wednesday, but then after the minutes it has pulled back, and even though Friday the flash manufacturing services PMIs is also better than expected, so has been able to prevent any further drop. So we'll see how the US dollar fares this coming week. It's still in a fairly tight range. Last week, the UK had better than expected CPI figures and also flash PMI's figures as well on Friday. But even though we had slightly lower than expected retail sales on Friday, so that could have tempered the strength there. All right, let's move on to the Aussie dollar. And similarly, the Aussie dollar has been finding support from this rising trend line and able to bounce off the trend line as well as the weekly pivot for last week and the 10 SMA, and eventually on Friday it made a massive move to break through the 0.78 and the 200 pip extension, close fairly bullish at 0.7868 area. So it's looks to continue for this week to the 79.00. Let's also take a look what's up ahead. 0.80, of course, is a key psychological figure. And let's see what the trade reversal levels are. All right, let's see. So the 138 level is at 0.7918. That aligned with the weekly R3 level, close to it last week. And the 162 Fib extension is at 0.7979 area, just below the 0.800. So let's see if there's it's able to reach the 138 first. And this support zone is going to be here now. At this swing high. But if it does dip a bit lower, there's definitely key support at 0.7800. So that's another support zone here. So this week, there's only the private capital expenditure figure on Thursday, and it may not have any major impact. But we'll see what the US dollar index has, whether it's able to influence the movement of the Aussie dollar. And if we look across all these three majors, you can see that Euro has not been performing as well as the pound and the Aussie dollar. So actually, if you're trading the cross pairs, you will see that the Euro against the cable, Euro against pound sterling, is going to be trending lower. And similarly for Euro against the Aussie dollar. And even the pound against the Aussie dollar is probably weaker, as the Aussie dollar is relatively stronger than the pound movement. So if you do trade the cross pairs, you can do the cross correlation and watch for those as well. Just to give you an example, let's take a look at the Euro against the pound. And let's go to the daily time frame, and you can see that the Euro has been weaker against the pound. So Euro pound has been trending lower, and you can definitely trade this cross pair as well as the Euro Aussie and the pound Aussie. And if you take the reversal fib here, and that has reached exactly to the 162 Fib extension of this swing low to this swing high. All right. So do watch out for my other videos on spot gold and dollar yen. Have a good week and a safe week and a good trading week as well. And cheers for now.